Jason, say hi.
The sun had barely crested over the pines that ringed Lake Tahoe, but already the air was buzzing with something more than just the promise of a bluebird summer day. The American Century Championship had always been a spectacle, where celebrities and athletes traded footballs and microphones for drivers and putters. But this year, the tournament shimmered with a different kind of electricity. All eyes, of course, drifted to Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, the couple who could, in a single breath, send social media into a tailspin and make even the most seasoned sports reporters a little giddy. Yet, as the early morning dew evaporated off the greens, it was Jason Kelce, Travis's burly, bearded brother, who unexpectedly stole the show. The cameras found Jason easily. How could they not? He cut a striking figure, his straw hat battered, and his beard looking like it had weathered a few blizzards. There was an ease about him, a rugged friendliness, as if he'd wandered off a fishing boat by accident and stumbled onto a red carpet. He was in the midst of an interview with Access Hollywood, and the mood was light. The conversation skipped from karaoke mishaps. Jason sheepishly confessed to butchering a dance routine Trev had nailed 5 times before, to the inevitably nerve-wracking proposition of 3 pudding with the added pressure of shotgunning a beer as punishment. The laughter was infectious, the kind that makes you wish you were there, clutching a plastic cup of lukewarm tournament coffee, just to soak it all in. But soon enough, the topic turned to Travis and Taylor, and the tone shifted just a little. Jason's eyes twinkled with mischief as the interviewer asked about the fairy tale romance that had captivated millions. Honestly, I don't know who loves golf more, Travis or Taylor, Jason said and then grinned. But they're both enjoying this vacation like it's their honeymoon. It was a side of celebrity life rarely glimpsed in the headlines, raw and refreshingly ordinary. Jason described how Taylor had joined Travis a few days earlier, slipping into the rhythms of tournament life with the same grace she brings to a stadium stage. He spotted them strolling the resort grounds, hand in hand, trading the glitz of the red carpet for the simple pleasure of moving unnoticed through a crowd. Hand in hand at dinner, hand in hand on the course. If they weren't holding hands, Jason joked, Travis might just tip over. He'd lose his balance. Jason laughed, and the image was so genuine, so unguarded, you could almost see it. A gentle giant finding his footing beside the world's biggest pop star. As for the question on every fan's mind, would Taylor play? Jason set the record straight. She was there to cheer Travis on, not to compete. She's as big a fan of Travis on the golf course as she is at her own concert, Jason revealed. Every swing Travis makes, she claps like he's singing a classic chorus. You could almost hear the roar of the crowd, the applause echoing over the fairways. But what was it really like being around Taylor Swift, the woman who could sell out a stadium in minutes and whose music provided the soundtrack to a generation? Jason scratched his head, shrugged, and offered a smile. No, I'm used to it. She's super friendly. She smiles a lot, and she's actually the best hide-and-seek person I've ever known. You blink, and she's gone. He paused, letting the laughter settle. I think she just likes to keep things interesting. The interview drifted, as good conversations do, from the public spectacle to the private joys. Jason spoke sincerely about his brother's happiness, about the way Travis had changed since meeting Taylor. I've never seen Travis happier, he said. The words carrying a weight that suggested this wasn't just a performance for the cameras. He's grateful to have Taylor around, and I am too, because he calls me less at 2 a.m. It was the kind of admission that cuts through the noise, a glimpse at the person behind the persona. Here was a superstar athlete, beloved by millions, who still called his big brother in the middle of the night, seeking advice, or maybe just the comfort of a familiar voice. And here was that brother, relieved and delighted to see Travis finding his own happiness. Of course, the interview couldn't end without one last bit of brotherly advice. When pressed for his thoughts on the golden couple, Jason didn't hesitate. Just remember one thing. Golf is for fun. The message was simple, but it stuck. An antidote to the pressure of celebrity, the scrutiny of fans, and the high stakes of competition. What is it about golf, anyway, that draws us in? Maybe it's the way the game exposes us, demanding patience, humility, and the courage to laugh at our own mistakes. Or maybe it's the camaraderie, The shared jokes and good-natured ribbing, the sense that the real prize is the time spent together, not the score on the card. As the tournament rolled on, stories drifted out from Lake Tahoe like ripples on the water. There was talk of wild celebrations planned for a potential hole-in-one, casino trips were high on the list, and the unique pressure of standing over a tricky putt, knowing that missing meant more than just another bogey. It meant a beer to the face, and a chorus of laughter from the gallery. But beneath the antics, there was a deeper story unfolding, one that had little to do with birdies or bogeys. It was the story of two brothers, navigating the wild world of fame with a humor and humility that made them instantly likable. It was the story of a superstar finding quiet joy in the company of someone who could make them feel, if only for a moment, like just another person in love. And then there was Taylor, whose presence at the tournament was both headline and footnote. She didn't need to swing a club to make an impact. Her cheers for Travis echoed louder than any drive off the tee, and her ability to vanish into the crowd, to slip in and out of the spotlight, was the stuff of legend. If you listened closely, you could hear the whispers among fans and reporters alike. What did they talk about at dinner? What jokes did they share as they strolled the resort? Was Taylor as nervous watching Travis putt as she was before taking the stage herself? The answers, of course, belonged to them. The moments between the moments, the laughter and the glances, the quiet pride and the private cheers, these were the things that didn't make the headlines but lingered in the air, sweet and unforgettable. As the sun dipped behind the mountains and the tournament wound down, Jason's final words lingered. Golf is for fun. It was a reminder, amid all the spectacle, of what really mattered. Not the trophies, not the headlines, not even the viral moments. Just the joy of being together, of sharing a day in the sun, of loving and being loved. And so, as the crowds drifted away and the last notes of laughter echoed across the lake, one thing was clear: this was about more than golf. It was about finding happiness in unexpected places, about celebrating the people who make us better, and about holding on to the moments that matter, hand in hand, heart to heart. In the end, maybe that's what draws us back to stories like this, again and again. The chance to believe for a little while that magic still happens, that even on a golf course, under the bright Tahoe sun, we can find something extraordinary in the ordinary, and that sometimes the best advice really is the simplest. Keep it fun, keep it real, and never putt alone.
Thank you.
Yeah. Up and down, Jason. Go Eagles.
I can't right now, guys. Appreciate you guys coming out.